Hi, class. I wanted to give you a brief overview of what to expect in week one and subsequent weeks. But first, make sure you have the right textbook and get ready to learn all the wonderful things about managing people in healthcare, and not just managing people, but also all the principles and disciplines that go with managing in business, because we're all about the business of healthcare. So we're going to have an introduction to marketing, accounting, finance, legal aspects that happen in the context of healthcare. Very importantly, information systems, especially as it relates to electronic healthcare records. And then also we'll explore some cases and things related to or aspects of work related to human resource management, and really try to understand the science behind managing in healthcare. One of the big things that you will be doing is a major project that I will help you work on over the 6 weeks of the course, actually 5 weeks, because in week six, you'll give a presentation and record it, and then hand in a written proposal for your plan. Let's just dive into the contents of the course so I can give you an overview. Because I want to prepare you for the fact that you need to look at this course from an overall perspective. In other words, each week will build upon the next to help you develop a final project, but also to give you an overarching idea of how to build a change within a healthcare either process or workflow, or maybe make an improvement on an existing aspect to work. And so, week one, we're going to learn about all the dynamics in healthcare, some of the trends that are happening. You'll have your discussion board. Post your first one that'll be due by Friday. If you can post it really by Wednesday, you'll be ahead of the game. You're going to read a case, and we like to talk about cases because they help us understand real scenarios that happen, and we can debrief about it and talk through some solutions and things. And the first one is developing a proposal, and so look at the case in chapter 2 in need of improvement, and we'll talk about in our discussion for week one how to um, address some of the resistance that can happen when you work in a group of people that don't maybe want change or don't see the value in change. And as manager, you have to help them buy into that change. And then you'll submit your topic for your quality improvement plan. Now, I've given you some ideas on a project that you could choose from: employee satisfaction or compliance with the process, um, patient satisfaction, or the revenue cycle. And choose a topic that really fits within your area of interest. So if you're working in HR, you may want to focus in on employee satisfaction. If you're in charge of an admissions area, you might want to work with your employees on compliance with the process and the admissions process. Or if you work in accounting or some other area of finance, you could do the revenue cycle. So choose according to what really speaks to your heart. And if a topic that I've listed here doesn't fit with that, just let me know, and we can talk through a good choice for what you would want to use your improvement project for. So in week one, you will come up with a problem statement. And these are the elements that should be in the problem statement. Notice that you will need to do research. I've given you a couple of sites that you can use to help you think of quality indicators, because as part of a problem statement, you're going to identify what the problem is, the significance of it, who's impacted by it, why it's important. Um, this isn't the whole project in week one, but you should have enough in your problem statement, enough information, these points, to be able to describe what your problem is that you will be addressing to improve, and specific indicators for that problem that will help you know when what is going to be the focus for improvement. You'll also have a week one quiz. You'll have a quiz each week. I just recommend getting into that reading and looking at the reading. And when you read, take notes on what you're reading. You really need to focus in on these three chapters this week: chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 13. um, Take notes or mark up your textbook, flag things, so that if you do get stumped during the quiz, you can go back and look in your textbook and come up with the right answer. I want you to succeed. And even though it's great to memorize things, there are some things, this is a lot of information. So I want you to dig into the text and take notes, or as I said before, mark up your text. But the main thing is that you familiarize yourself with these things, and as best you can is commit it to memory. And then as you work on your project, here are some resources. Here's an overview and resources that you can use for your final project. And the final project resource page gives you an outline and a template. Let's just go into it for a moment. That you can, oh, well, these are additional resources. I think what I need to do is go back to the final project overview, because here you will see, it'll load for me, the things that will, the overview of the project, the instructions, and it's not going to. So we may need to address that. If you can't access it, let me know. I'm going to try and work on that today. So these are things that you can use to help you work on your final project. Remember, when you're in discussion board, if you go into your discussion area, the virtual office is there, and you can ask any questions at any time, and I will look at those every day. Feel free to email me. My office hours are listed on there. When you go into your discussion, remember that you are responsible for having a dialogue, not just making obligatory posts. So start early posting. Respond to people that post to your thread. Some people ask questions, and it's important that you go back and you answer those questions. And if people just make a comment on your thread, it's always good to acknowledge it, and maybe use that opportunity to show me what you're learning, because your discussion posts will be graded. So that is an overview of the course. I look forward to getting to work with you on your projects. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Here is my office number and my email. Feel free to call me if you get in a jam over the weekend. This is my text number. You're welcome to text me. And I look forward to spending time with you in the course.